So you're offering a great service, you're skilled, you're experienced, and you're delivering real results. But for some reason, clients still don't see the value, at least enough to pay the kind of prices that you wish to charge. They hesitate, they negotiate, or worse, they don't buy at all. In this video, we're going to be talking about one crucial silent killer in your business. It's killing your perceived value, and it might be the biggest reason why premium clients or high-paying clients are just not showing up. It's your visual identity. So let's jump in. Visual identity is the first of the 5 pillars within the V.A.L.U.E framework, a framework I designed to help business owners, entrepreneurs to increase their perceived value and thereby attract better clients. So let's recap quickly what the V.A.L.U.E framework stands for. V stands for visual identity, A stands for authority positioning, L stands for leverage social proof, U stands for unique outcome clarity, and finally the E stands for exclusivity and scarcity. So we're focusing on visual identity because it's usually the first thing that your prospective clients would notice and judge you by way before they ever speak to you. So what is visual identity? Visual identity is simply the look and feel of your business. The look and feel of your business. So it spans across everything from your logo to the colors that you use to the kind of fonts that you have, and even your various touch points like your website, like your social media pages, even your proposal documents. So visual identity is a big part of your brand. Brand is a bigger umbrella. So when we talk about brand, it's more of the sum total of how people experience your business. But then visual identity is a big part of it, or visual is a big part of it. And that's because, according to research, about 70% of what the brain retains is visual. 70%. And that's huge. What that means is that day in, day out, people are forming opinions about your business based on mostly what they see. So if your visuals are sending the wrong signals, then people are going to assume that your service or your product is substandard. If your brand looks cheap, then people are going to assume that it is, even if it's not. So let's explore some signs that make your brand through your visual identity look cheap. So remember, we want to feed the perception or your perceived value with positive signals and non-negative ones. So the first one is if your logo looks blurry, outdated, or lacks meaning. If your logo does not tell any story, if how your logo shows up is either blurry or not well made, then this is a bad signal. And the next one is your colors. If your brand colors feel random, if they're not tied to your values or your tone or your audience, then this also will give negative signals. And the third one is your website or your various touch points. If they feel too cluttered with a confusing layout or with like inconsistent fonts, then that also is a bad signal. Then the next one is your social media pages. I mean, they have no visual flow so that every post doesn't align with the visual guidelines that you've put together. But for every post, it looks like it's coming from a different brand. That's also a bad signal. Then finally, for your proposals or your various documents, if they don't have a premium feel to it, or they're not well made, And that's also a very bad signal. So here we are talking about having a very cohesive and an intentional visual identity. Remember, people are getting certain signals from your visual identity, and you want to feed positive signals through that. They are forming opinions based on what they see. So if you want to attract higher and premium and well-paying clients, then your brand also must match up. And these are some of the signs you want to look at. So to wrap up, your visual identity represents a very huge part of your brand, and it's a silent killer if we don't pay attention to it. Remember, we said clients or customers don't always buy based on logic, they buy based on belief. And that belief can either be positively affected or negatively affected through your visuals. Really, really important. So what you want to do to increase your perceived value is to pay attention to your visual identity. And through all of these signs that we've looked at, start to improve on your visual identity so that you can feed positive signals to improve your perceived value and therefore attract the kind of clients that you're looking for. Remember, visual identity represents the first pillar within the value framework. And in subsequent videos, we're going to be talking a lot more about it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share with others as well. See you in the next one.